Have you ever seen your dog lying quietly in a corner, eyes filled with a longing you can't quite understand? No barking, no playing, not eating as much as before. You think it's normal, but in reality, it might be a silent cry for help. Dogs can feel sadness. They can feel lonely. But unlike humans, they don't know how to speak up. And when the signs start to show, many people miss them. They only realize when it's already too late. In this video, I'll walk you through 15 signs that your dog might be feeling lonely. From the subtlest changes to the most dangerous behaviors that, if ignored, could lead to deep regret. If you truly love your dog, please watch until the end. Because just recognizing one single sign early could completely change their emotional world. And then you realize there's a look that always follows you in every step you take. But it's not because your dog is happy. It's because it's scared you'll disappear again. Many dogs express their loneliness by constantly wanting you to play with them. It might seem cute, but if you notice that they can't play alone, always standing by, waiting for you to throw a toy, or whining to get you to the yard, it's no longer just about being playful. It's a fear of abandonment eating away at every moment. Typically, dogs that have been lost or abandoned by previous owners will display this more noticeably. The solution is simple. Don't just play with your dog when you have free time. Make a daily play schedule, just like a commitment. Treat it like a date with someone you love. Don't break your promise. Have you ever tried walking from one room to another and noticed your dog following you like a shadow, silently tagging along? Some dogs don't make noise or cause any trouble. They just quietly stay close by your side, from the bathroom to the kitchen to your workspace. It might sound sweet, but this is actually a sign of deep anxiety. They no longer feel safe when left alone, and their body reacts by sticking to you like a walking pillow. If this continues, it can prevent them from developing independent skills, making them easily stressed when you're not around. To help them become more confident, start gradually training them to be alone. Begin with a few minutes, and then gradually extend the time, just like teaching a child to sleep in their own bed. Have you ever heard a long, mournful howl from your dog right after you closed the door and left the house? Not all dogs bark loudly, but the howls or whines, as though they are coming from the depths of their hearts, are often a clear sign of separation anxiety. They don't understand what going to work means. They only know that you're leaving, and they don't know if you'll return. A study from the University of Lincoln, UK, shows that 85% of dogs with loneliness show abnormal sounds when left alone. And most owners don't even know this because they aren't home to hear it. To detect this, you can set up a camera or record audio when you're away. And if you confirm it's true, start practicing the leave and return exercise. Step out for a few minutes and come back. Until they understand, I won't be abandoned. Did you think only children sulk by causing trouble? Not really. Dogs do it too. If your dog scratches the door, jumps on the walls, or even bites the cage bars when left alone, it's not just mischief. It's panic, an extreme reaction when they can't handle the emotions of loneliness. Dogs that have been confined for long periods as puppies tend to have this behavior more. The most important thing is, don't punish your dog in this situation, because that will only make them feel more abandoned. Try placing items that smell like you near their resting spot, or play soft music when you leave. And if you've ever experienced this, comment, "I've seen this," to see how many people have faced the same situation. Sometimes, dogs don't bark, don't cause trouble, but quietly rebel by relieving themselves inappropriately. This is one of the most easily misunderstood signs. Many people think the dog is being naughty or doing it on purpose. But no, this is a sign of stress, much like how humans might get a stomachache when they're too stressed. When dogs feel abandoned or not properly cared for, their nervous and digestive systems are directly affected. Even if they've been well trained, if they suddenly return to misbehaving in an unusual way, check again. Have you been neglecting them recently? You may not realize it, but your schedule has changed, and dogs can feel that clearly. The solution here isn't to scold them, but to restore their sense of security. By walking them at the right times, playing at the right moments, and sometimes just sitting next to them for 10 minutes every day. If you've ever found yourself in one of these situations, then stay tuned, because the signs that follow are even clearer and more dangerous. What do you think is the most serious sign so far? Comment to join the conversation. You might think that when a dog lies quietly, doesn't cause trouble, and doesn't bark, it means they are being well behaved? But sometimes, that silence is the loudest cry. Some dogs start to withdraw, showing significantly less energy, and no longer seem excited when you walk in the door. From a dog that used to jump on you with joy, it now lies still, watching you but not running toward you. This is a sign of depression in dogs, often occurring when they feel they are no longer part of the pack. The cause could be that you've been too busy, or perhaps there's a new family member, another dog, a baby. This sign is easy to overlook because it's not noisy, but that unusual silence is exactly what's frightening. The solution? Rebuild the bond. Instead of just playing, try simple training each day to make them feel like you choose to be their teammate. Many people think it's normal for dogs to bark at neighbors. But if your dog barks continuously when they hear noises outside, when you walk away, or when they see a stranger, then it's no longer just about guarding the house. This is a sign of a dog always on high alert, stemming from a lack of security. When they don't have you around, they feel empty and helpless. So they have to take on the guarding responsibility themselves. A study in Denmark showed that lonely dogs bark 3 times more than normal when exposed to environmental stimuli. To resolve this, you can use the energy release method before leaving. Take them on a longer walk or engage in more tiring play. A tired dog will bark much less. And don't forget, if you've ever had complaints from neighbors about the barking, it might be time to address the deeper cause. There are dogs that don't react strongly to sounds, don't do anything. But their bodies speak up in other ways, licking their paws, chewing their fur until it falls out in patches, or even creating sores. This is a self-soothing behavior, similar to how humans might bite their nails when anxious. When dogs are left alone for too long, they will look for ways to release excess energy and negative emotions through these behaviors. If you notice your dog frequently licking their paws, licking walls, chewing furniture, or biting their tails, especially when left alone, don't quickly assume it's just due to itching. It's very likely their mental state is troubled. The best solution is to provide more stimulating environments. Food-stuffed toys, licking mats, chewing sticks. These not only entertain them, but also help them relax when you're not around. Have you ever noticed that after a few hours of you being away, when you return, your dog is panting, with its tongue hanging out and eyes wide open? It's not because they're excited. It could be the result of extreme stress that causes physiological responses like rapid heart rate and heavy breathing. Just like humans sweat when they're nervous for too long, dogs have their own ways of expressing it. The danger is that if this happens frequently, it can severely affect their nervous and cardiovascular systems. An effective solution is to train their emotions by helping them get used to your departures, from short to long, without sudden changes. And importantly, when you return, don't overreact. Give your dog a few minutes to calm down before hugging them. This helps them understand that leaving and returning is normal and doesn't need to be stressful. If one day you notice your dog eating less or refusing food when left alone, don't quickly assume it's because the food isn't tasty. In fact, this is a fairly common sign, but is often overlooked because many people think the dog is just picky. However, if they still eat when you're at home but refuse food when you leave, the issue isn't with their stomach, it's with their emotions. When dogs are stressed, their digestive system is directly affected. Just like humans, when under high stress, it's hard for them to eat properly. A simple yet effective solution is to feed them while you're nearby, or use food dispensing devices with familiar smells from you. Some dog owners even leave a piece of their old clothes near their dog's food bowl, and the results can be surprisingly effective. Have you tried this method? As time goes on, the signs become more subtle and dangerous, especially when they begin to affect behavior and mental health. Can you guess which sign will be mentioned next? When behavior starts to become uncontrollable, that's when you really need to pay attention. Many dogs start destroying things when left alone, chewing slippers, tearing pillows, digging holes indoors. This isn't just mischief. It's a way to release psychological stress. Imagine being locked in a room for hours with no one to talk to, no way to move. What would you do? For dogs, destroying things is a silent protest. A study from the University of Bristol found that 78% of dogs who engage in destructive behavior do so because of loneliness, not a lack of training. The solution is not to scold them, it's to teach them how to play independently. You can leave them with interactive toys, or simply create a safe space where they feel more secure when you're not around. A more subtle, but more dangerous sign is when dogs sleep too much or nap intermittently throughout the day without getting deep rest. Sleeping too much isn't always good. When dogs are lonely or depressed, they tend to use sleep to escape negative emotions. But this sleep is often poor quality, easily disturbed, and doesn't help replenish their energy. Unlike healthy dogs, who sleep deeply and are alert when playing, lonely dogs are often sad and uninterested in any activity. You can check by gently calling their name when they're lying down. If they don't respond or respond sluggishly, it could be a sign that they need emotional support. How can you help? Reset their daily biological rhythm by sticking to a routine of play, feeding, and sleep at regular times, interspersed with interactive activities to bring their brain back on track. And the final sign, the most serious warning, is when dogs begin to engage in self-harming behavior. It's no longer just mild paw licking, but licking to the point of bleeding, scratching doors until their nails are torn, or even banging their heads against walls, extreme behaviors that show severe emotional distress. This is when you need professional intervention. A vet, a behavior specialist, and immediate changes to their living environment. Dogs at this stage often feel disoriented, and if not addressed, they can spiral into deep depression, even withdrawing completely from the world around them. If you notice anything unusual, don't wait. Act immediately. You see, sometimes it's just a sad, distant look or a soft sigh in the night. That is the silent cry for help that your dog is sending to you. They don't need much, just to be heard, to be present with you, and not to be abandoned in their own home. If today you've noticed some of these signs, don't hesitate. Spend a little more time. A hug, a walk, a warm look. For you, it might be just 5 minutes, but for your dog, that's an entire world. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it with others who own dogs, and subscribe to the channel to not miss upcoming videos. There's still so much more to discover, because dogs are not just pets. They are a part of the family.